Hi everybody, today I'm going to be doing the Beauty and Brains tag. It's more for beauty gurus, but I figured what the hell, I'll do it anyway. It's 14 questions, and the first one is, what is your favorite book? This one was really hard for me to pick. I love to read, so it was hard for me to single out just one, but for the sake of just this, I'm not going to ramble off on too many. The first one I picked was the Bartimaeus series by Jonathan Stroud. I have been obsessed with this series since I was 14, and I think for good reason. Stroud manages to construct this very complex alternate reality, and he does so with an engaging plot and engaging characters. And it immediately captured my attention. I could not put it down. I finished the first book, which is The Amulet of Samarkand, in I think about 8 hours. Yeah, I could not put it down. I think I got up once to eat, and that was about it. Some others I really enjoy are Macbeth by William Shakespeare, Fahrenheit 451, and The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury. I'm a huge Bradbury fan. I love Ray Bradbury. The Anita Blake series by Laurel K. Hamilton, and pretty much anything by John Krakauer. He's one of my favorite authors. Some books that I really, my favorite books by him are Into Thin Air, which is his account of, I think it was in 1996, the tragic deaths of several people on Mount Everest, and also his book Under the Banner of Heaven, which is an account of Mormon fundamentalist cults, and specifically two Mormon fundamentalist brothers that murdered their sister-in-law and I think it was their niece. I haven't read the book in a while, but it's a very good book. And I grew up in the Mormon church, so that one in particular was very interesting to me. Just to learn about something that wasn't the mainstream Mormon church. I mean, the mainstream Mormon church is still fucking whacked out, but the fundamentalist Mormons really give you insight into what the Mormon church used to be. It's very, very interesting. It's a very good book, and I recommend anybody to read it. Okay. Second question is, what is your favorite quotation? This is another one I had a really hard time picking because I love so many quotations, but I picked one from Richard Dawkins's book Unweaving the Rainbow, and that is, "We are going to die. That makes us the lucky ones. Most people are never going to die because they are never going to be born. The potential people who could have been here in my place, but who will in fact never see the light of day, outnumber the grains of sand in the Sahara. Certainly those unborn ghosts include greater poets than Keats, scientists greater than Newton. We know this because the set of possible people allowed by our DNA so massively outnumbers the set of actual people. In the teeth of these stupefying odds, it is you and I, in our ordinariness, that are here." I love this quote, not just because it's Richard Dawkins, but because I find a lot of truth in it. You know, had my DNA been structured any differently, I could be somebody completely different. I could look completely different. My personality could be completely different. I might have different interests, different talents. I wouldn't be me anymore. I would be somebody completely different, and I won the lottery of birth against all odds. I get to be here. I get to experience this life and all that it entails, and I'm grateful for that. So I love this quote for that reason. Third question, English or maths? Definitely English. I always love to read and write. I love the creative aspects of the subject. I love to write myself, so English was a really big favorite subject for me. I'm not necessarily bad at math. I mean, I can grasp the concept of it when I actually pay attention. It's the paying attention that comes with some difficulty. I get bored with math so easily. Like when I was in high school, 9 times out of 10, I ended up falling asleep in my math class. With the exception of trigonometry, actually. I actually liked trig for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why, but... Okay, fourth question, science or art? This one was difficult for me to decide because both of them hold a really special place in my heart, but I'm gonna have to go with science because I've always been intrigued by all branches of science, by biology and astronomy in particular. And I guess it's because I'm perpetually curious. I have like this ceaseless need to know things. But, you know, I have a soft spot for the performing arts as well. You know, dance, music, theater. I've been actively involved in all three since I was a kid. And the only reason I pick science over art is because I'm not really that into the visual arts as much as I am the other branches of the fine arts. You know, I can appreciate a good painting, but if somebody is talking about a piece in an art museum, I just need to walk away because I have no idea what they're talking about. I think that's how people feel about science with me sometimes. I'll get started on, like, say, I'll start talking about, you know, these constellations and which stars are in them, and some people are just like, oh my god, shut up, please, shut up. And I think that's how people feel about me sometimes. I feel like I ramble on and people lose interest really quickly. Alright, question 5. Name 5 albums or musical artists that changed your life. Okay. First one I picked was Eminem. A lot of people find this weird because I don't listen to a lot of rap. But I do kind of have a soft spot for Eminem. I find a lot of his lyrics and a lot of his music encouraging, and I use it to keep pushing forward no matter what life throws at me or how many times I fuck up. I've fucked up a lot. A lot. I think my favorite song by Eminem is Till I Collapse featuring Nate Dogg. It's one of my favorite songs by him. Second person I picked was Judy Garland, and it's not necessarily that I found her music influential, it's because I find her to be an inspiration in general. She was beautiful and talented in a way that's really difficult to find anymore. I mean, you don't really see a lot of performers like Judy Garland or Fred Astaire, and Judy Garland was one of the first people to make me truly fall in love with music and the performing arts. Yeah, The Wizard of Oz. I loved The Wizard of Oz as a kid. I watched it over and over and over again. And the final 3 I picked these 3 for the same reason. They all had a single song that really helped me. I picked Ed Sheeran for his song Small Bump, Kelly Coffey for her song I Would Die for That, and Daughtry for their song Gone Too Soon. And anybody who is familiar with these songs knows that they all have an underlying theme of miscarriage and infertility. And that was something I dealt with a couple of months ago. I miscarried my first pregnancy back in August. And it was one of the most devastating things I've ever experienced. And these songs really helped me get through it. So I picked those 3 as my final because of that. Number 6, favorite and least favorite subject in school. My least favorite was definitely math. Like I said, it was boring and just uninteresting, mind-numbingly dull. There was nothing about it I found enjoyable at all. My favorites were biology and biotechnology. I had really good teachers for those. I always found the subject kind of interesting, but my 10th grade biology teacher in particular really helped drive it home. She was really passionate about the subject she taught, and she had a genuine affection for teaching and for her students as well, and she made it fun. She presented the material in a way that was interesting and engaging, so I was hooked immediately, and I have been ever since. Number 7, favorite celebrity with a brain. Definitely Mayim Bialik. I loved her in Blossom as a kid, and I love her in The Big Bang Theory now. And I also love that she is incredibly intelligent. The woman has 2 bachelor's degrees and a PhD in neuroscience, which I find impressive. That's really amazing. After Blossom, she went and finished high school and then went on to get her bachelor's degree, I know, in neuroscience. I'm not entirely sure what the other one was, but then after that she went on to get her PhD. And I think it's great that she's, you know, beautiful and intelligent. She's talented. She's inspiring all around. Seriously, if I could be her, I would. If I could be Mayim Bialik, I would. I would assume her body and just, I would be her. It was awesome. It's awesome. Okay. Number 8. If you could study anything anywhere, what would it be? I honestly cannot answer this one because there are so many things I want to study. Like, seriously, if I could be a perpetual student, I probably would. Just to narrow it down to a couple of fields of interest, I want to study astronomy, I want to study wildlife biology, and I want to study musical theater. I would have no idea where to begin studying them. So, because I want to travel too. So there are so many places I want to go and I want to see, and there are so many things I want to study, so it's impossible to narrow down. It is impossible to narrow down. Okay. Number 9. What is your nerdy little secret? Oh goodness. I collect currency. I collect both like old United States coins, and I also collect foreign currency. I got a couple pieces here that I'll show you. This right here is $1 from Bermuda. My boyfriend gave this one to me. It's kind of a mess right now. My boyfriend gave this one to me because he knew I was really into this kind of thing. And his mom had been to Bermuda, and he happened to have this, and he was like, "Hey, I know you're into this, here you go." I was like, "Cool!" So I didn't actually have to do anything to get this one. I'm excited. The second one I want to show you is this one. I don't know if you can really see it. There it is. I'm sorry, I have to look at the screen in order to see it, because it's my camera's not very good quality, so I have to like look at the camera to make sure you're getting a good picture of it. But this is a Chinese silver dollar. This is actually a fake. It makes me kind of sad. I found that out after I got like 8 of these. But I'm not terribly broken up about it because I only paid like $2 for the whole lot of them. So I'm a little sad that they're fakes, but it's not the worst thing in the world because I only paid like $2 for 8 of these. So I didn't really lose anything, and they're still cool to look at. I think this is really cool. It's not the worst fake in the world, so you get a pretty good idea of what the real ones look like by looking at that. And this one right here is actually the oldest thing I own. It is a 1748 Colonial New York cent. I have it in its little case because I don't know if it's gonna break if I take it out or not. That's the oldest thing I own. That thing is older than the United States itself, and I find that amazing. That's awesome. I have so much more than that, but like I mean seriously, I have like handfuls of just old currency. You know, I've got some from Japan, I've got some from Germany, I've got some from Mexico, New Zealand, Chile. I've got it from all over the place. It's crazy. That's my nerdy little secret. Question number 10. Your favorite beauty guru who you admire for more than their love of beauty or fashion. Easily Lauren Luke. She was the first beauty channel I started following on YouTube, and I've been following her ever since she first started. You know, back when she was back in that dimly lit little bedroom using the light from her window to light her videos. And I love that she came out of such a rough situation and was able to create something that was appealing to so many people and that brought her so much joy and so much success. And I'm really glad we were able to share that journey with her. You know, it was amazing just watching her come out of this. Number 11. If your channel couldn't focus on beauty or fashion, what would it be? Now, my channel, of course, doesn't focus on beauty or fashion. When I first started this channel, I had intended to do makeup tutorials, but I never did. I don't know why. It just kind of became a channel for me to put my opinions out there, and if you don't like it, well, fuck you. That's kind of what my channel has become, or started out as and remained as. I had intended to do so much with this channel that I just never did. I probably will eventually. I'll probably put like some monologues and some makeup tutorials out there eventually, but it hasn't happened like that yet. Maybe I'll get around to it eventually if I stop being so damn lazy with my channel. But yeah, that's where that is. Number 12. Name some things that you're obsessed with that other people would find strange or geeky. For me, it's vintage video games. Now, I know video games are less nerdy now than they used to be, but something I find is that most gamers today don't still own the Sega Genesis and the Nintendo 64 that they had when they were a kid. I do. And I still play the crap out of them. I still play my Nintendo 64. I don't play my Genesis as much anymore because it's getting up there in age and it hasn't been taken care of as well as the 64 has. So I try not to play it as much because it really has a hard time. It freezes up at random moments and sometimes it doesn't want to turn on at all. So I'm trying to be careful with it. I'm trying to preserve the life of it as long as I possibly can. I've had that thing for, oh God, like 15 years. I've had that thing for so long. But yeah, that's my geeky obsession. Number 13, name 5 people, excluding family and friends, who inspire you. Now, a few of these I've already put out there already. Richard Dawkins, like I said, has been a huge influence for me ever since I came out as an atheist, particularly in the areas of standing up for my beliefs and my disbeliefs and letting people know that, hey, I'm here, I exist, and I'm not going to be ignored. You know, I love how passionate he is about his work, and it's infectious. It really is. It makes me want to be passionate about it too. Another one I've already said, Judy Garland, and other performers like her in general, Fred Astaire, Elizabeth Taylor. Their level of talent is so hard to find these days, and these are the people that really sparked my love of the performing arts, like Judy Garland and Fred Astaire when they did Easter Parade. I love that movie. I worship that movie. I still watch clips of it on YouTube. God, I feel nerdy just saying it, but yeah, I'm obsessed with them. Another one I've already said, my 10th grade biology teacher, because she was so passionate and she had an absolutely real love for teaching and for her students, and she managed to pass that love of biology and science on to her students. And because of her passion, it sort of made my passion for science and knowledge greater than it ever was before. So now I'm nerdy science geek, thanks to her. And the last two are my high school choir and theater directors. These women took my love of the performing arts to a whole new level. They just took it and ran with it. Because like my biology teacher, they had a genuine love of their subjects and a genuine love for their students. And they made me want to do more. I participated in every high school play and choir concert that I possibly could, and these women really helped to shape and hone my skills as a performer, and I will forever love them for it. And final question, number 14, who is your intellectual soulmate? This was not difficult to pick at all. This one definitely goes to my best friend, my good twin, Sophie. Just based on our personalities, you wouldn't think we were anything alike at all. I'm a lot louder and outspoken, whereas Sophie is a lot quieter and more reserved. But we find a lot of common ground on our subjects of interest. We took biotech, choir, and theater together in high school. And we share a lot of political ideologies as well. You know, I could talk to this girl for hours upon hours upon hours. She is my best friend, and I love her to pieces. So, love for you, Sophie. My camera is shaking. Stupid, crappy quality camera. But, love you, Sophie. And that is it for this tag. I have another video in mind to upload. I don't know when I'll get around to doing it. It'll happen eventually, I promise. It really will. It will happen. Oh, damn hair. But I will take my leave for now, and I will see you guys later.